Subscribe to Learning with Friends and click on the bell icon so that you never miss an update. Hello everyone, welcome to Learning with Friends. Today we are going to discuss the phrasal verbs of the verb call. To understand what phrasal verbs are and to watch our other videos on phrasal verbs, click here. The very first phrasal verb that we will discuss today is call back. This is commonly used and it means to return a phone call. For example, since I was in a meeting, I could not take my mother's call. So I called her back when I was free. The next phrasal verb is call for. What does call for mean? It means to require or to make necessary. For example, his promotion calls for a celebration. Or let's look at another example. The scam report calls for an urgent change of leadership. Call for something also means to publicly demand for something to happen. For example, the environmentalists have been calling for a complete ban on the use of plastic. Or the media houses have called for the resignation of the minister who slapped a journalist. And then there is a third context in which call for can be used. That is, to pick up someone in order to go somewhere. For example, I'll call for Sunita at 6 p.m. Please ask her to be ready for the dinner. Now that we are on this topic, let's also quickly learn the meaning of the phrase not called for or uncalled for, which means to be rude or to be not appropriate. I apologize for my sister's uncalled for personal comments. Or let's look at another example. His shouting at us was completely not called for. Let's look at another phrasal verb with call forth, which means to elicit or bring out a reaction. The proposed building on the children's park has called forth an angry response from the residents. Or let's look at another example. The much loved president's last speech called forth tears as well as smiles. Now let's look at call off, which means to cancel. This is another common phrasal verb. Let's look at an example. The meeting was called off after one of the directors took ill. Or we had to call off our picnic plan as it started to rain heavily. Next, call on, which means to visit someone. My father's friends call on him every Sunday. I plan to call on my old uncle this weekend. It has been ages since I last met him. Another meaning of call on is to ask or request someone to do something. This is generally used in formal situations. For example, the women's organizations called on the government to ensure safety of women in the capital. Or, during the war, the president called on all able-bodied men and women to join the army. Next now, call in. Call in means to ask for help of an expert or a specialist. After the doctors at the local hospital failed to help his sick father, he called in a specialist from the city. Or let's look at another example. When we found a large snake in our backyard, we had to call in a professional snake catcher. Call in also means to make a telephone call to a radio or a television program. For example, you can say, today is Kishore Kumar's birthday and many music lovers have called in requesting to play his songs. Let's now understand a related phrase, to call in sick. When you call in sick, you inform your office or your boss by telephone that you will be absent from work because of being ill. Let's look at an example. If you keep calling in sick every Friday, your seniors will understand that you're just making an excuse. Next phrasal verb with call after. Call after means to give a baby the same name as someone else in the family. For example, he was called after his grandfather, which means that he and his grandfather, the baby and the grandfather, had the same name. And finally, Let's look at call away. Call away means to be asked to attend to something else. The doctor was here this morning but was called away to handle an emergency. Another example, don't call him away when he's working on the report, otherwise he will not be able to meet the deadline. That's all for now, friends. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to our channel Learning with Friends. Remember, it is absolutely free to subscribe. Also share the video and spread the knowledge. Comment and tell us which other English and math videos can we make for you. See you next time.